So it was a whole new industry. So there were all of these jobs that were completely available, from engineering to pumping gas to chauffeuring. Everything was open to making cars.
Everything. And Michigan was a big part of that with,
Michigan.
Henry Ford, of
The war.
course, and, in Detroit, and people coming from the South to get these jobs
Yeah.
that they were getting paid well.
Well, the cars set up whole new cities, right? All of a sudden, like the Black Bottom in Detroit was a whole area region that didn't exist before the car industry. And it was all made by people, mostly, I should say, not completely, but by people migrating. These whole new towns and areas were created because of the car industry. And the
Exactly.
automobile really did offer freedoms that were unbelievable to change America and to change American history.
Right. And I think that's so important. And even as we talk with younger people about cars and the history of cars and all that, I think it gave them a different perspective, of even different appreciation of cars. Not only can I drive anywhere I want, I can stay in any hotel that I want, I can eat in any restaurant that I want, but just the fact that there are people who struggled for them to have that freedom. It wasn't just automatic. And, so I think that is what's powerful about this whole story as well. And I mean, your book started with, the George Floyd incident, which was
Well,
horrible.
for me, that's what inspired it in a way. Like it was
Mhm.
tough times.
And before we get more into some other stuff, I want to track back a little bit about the Burns Archives, because you guys not only create books, but you consult for movies and Henry Louis Gates. And so tell us a little bit about who uses your services and how you're valuable to these industries.
Well, we do put out our own books. We have our own publishing company,
Mhm.
and we do license photographs for other people's books. We work on documentaries with Dr. Gates. He has utilized in the past 5 or 6 documentaries that he's made, from Reconstruction to the last one on about I think it's blacks and Jews in America,
Mhm.
and the black church and all of these ones in between. He's licensed a lot of photographs from us because we have these one of a kind
Mhm.
unseen images. We don't put our images online because we live in this culture, right? Where everybody's like another picture, another picture, another picture. You want to see what you haven't seen before.
Right.
And so Dr. Gates uses our images. Ken Burns, of course, no relation, as I have to say, even though we have the same last name.
Right.
We've been working with Ken since the Civil War, so our photographs are licensed for lots
Not
of.
the real Civil War, but the Civil War movie. It's like, you're that old? What?
I
You
know
guys been
I'm not
around?
that old. Yeah, it's a Civil War documentary.
Right, right.
Um, but we also, what's really cool about these old photographs is that these historical photographs, is that we consult on television shows, like television series and films, from the Nick and Jacob's Ladder and the others, and I mean all of these incredible. I could
Right.
go
Gilded
on it. The
Age.
Gilded Age.
Right, right. I just
All of
learned
these
about.
television series. And what's really cool about it is that they use the old photographs to recreate times. I mean, they consult with us on medical history and other parts of history that we are knowledgeable about. So we ourselves are consultants on also photographic history. But they take our photographs and then they use it to recreate things. They use it to understand. They use it to get history accurate. Facts are nice.
And I love that. I mean, as a journalist, we are basically the historians, and
Right.
photographers are basically historians. They're taking images of things that people are going to look at years and years down the line to see what life was like, or what, images of the world was like before, people who weren't even around to see it. So that's a valuable media
That's why we
photography.
preserve it. That's what we do. I mean, that's what we try to do, right? We think it's really important that history matters. And to preserve this documentation, I mean, truly what my father did is an incredible thing. A lot of these photographs may not have survived anymore. We have the only known photograph of the first black vote in
Mm.
1864. It's the only surviving photograph of it.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And,
That's awesome.
had he not got it, I actually don't even know where he got it, but I think probably at like a flea market or something like that, that he knew and he saw it. And he knew it was the only one at the moment. We believe it's the only one, but photography is interesting. Stuff appears. We have these incredible, one of a kind things that we preserve to make sure that history is preserved.
And I love that. And your dad just received an award,
He did. He
and he
did
has
lots of
a
cool.
and he has a fellowship or a program that he started. Tell us a little bit about that. His award, and then what he's
Well,
doing.
we are our medical collection, which we are quite well known for because we did this TV series called The Nick.
Mhm.
And we've been working on medical history for years. We had, and we still do, I suppose, the world's largest private historical medical photographic collection. Wow. And it is now at Yale University at their medical library. Wow. They have 16,000 images. They're getting another 16,000. And we've set up a fellowship for people to, I know we just added another 1,200 memorial photographs to that. And I think more are going as well. But so we've set up a fellowship that anyone can, that not just Yale students, but anyone can apply for and study medical photographic history.
Wow.
And we're also setting up a curatorship so that the whole collection will continually be cared for and utilized. And we wanted it at a university because it will be used, and all the different schools can access it. Not just the medical school,
I love
but in
that.
from anything, from journalism, right, to art,
Right.
to everything. They'll call me up and they'll tell me things, and I'm like, "That class is using this stuff," and it gets me so happy, which is, again, back to you for a second and these girls, that these photographs being saved resonate and can be used, and people will learn from them
Mhm.
forever.
Exactly. And then now the pictures that these girls are taking, they'll last for a while, and people can go back and look later and say, "Who are these young
They're
girls?"
added to this
Right.
history, and that's what
Right.
matters,
Right. They're a
right?
part of it.
They're a part of it.
They're a part of history. Now, before we go, because I know our time is running, and this we can talk all day,
Of course, we could
because we've done for 2 days already. We've already been talking off camera for 2 days.
nonstop for 2 days.
Right.
And
But
since we met on that our first Zoom, or I think our first
oh
Zoom
my
call.
gosh.
I know.
And that's the thing, like we didn't even meet in person until a couple of days ago, but we've been communicating back and forth, and now we're like buddies. And I want to get to the elephant in the room. So we talk about, particularly as African American authors, that there are a lot of books written by people who are not Black, and there's a little animosity sometimes about that, about why are white people telling this story. So what would you say to that? Why do you
I
think
was thinking
that's
about this morning again, right? Because I knew this question was gonna come up, and this is what I've come up with today. It's American history. I'm an American. You're an American. It's just history. It's our history. It is not Black history or white history. I mean, it is, but it can be told by, and it should be told. It should be known by everyone. And if people of other religions and races and colors don't tell each other stories, how will we all learn about them? I mean, and that's what I think matters the most. It's history. And, I mean, racism and anti-Semitism and all this stuff, if we don't, I'm Jewish. I was born and raised Jewish. That's why my dad collected this, because he saw the horrors. I learned about the Holocaust at an early age. And hatred of any kind is horrible. I mean, it's beyond. And we shouldn't hate. We should all, I mean, not to sound all, we should all be kind to each other. And if we know each other's histories and we understand that we've all done terrible, we should stop doing terrible things to each other as people. So does it matter what color I am that I believe that? I don't think so.
okay?
And that's my answer for today.
I love it. I love
I
it.
mean, it's but like it's very important. I remember when I went back through the book and I edited the book,
Mhm.
when it would say African American history, I was like, can I remove the word African from this? Is no longer African American history? Is it just American history? There are times that, of course, not to take away from the African American experience by any means. And sometimes it was, it did matter to say that.
Mhm.
And it was important to recognize African American history.
Right.
But at the same time, it also needs to be acknowledged that it's American history, how we need to own our history.
I love it. I love it. And I think so many times we divide our history. We do say African
That's
American
right.
history, but I know, sometimes if someone who's not Black tells a story, it seems like it always gets a little bit more maybe notoriety, or maybe it's seen as more, authentic as opposed to people of color. And we've had the struggle even as Black authors. So I
Of
just want to
course.
put that
Oh,
out
look,
there.
I don't know what
Yeah,
it's like to be Black in America, and I
exactly.
never will.
Hmm.
But this history happened. Right? I have pictures of terrible things, right? But also beautiful things, and I think it's also that, which is what this book is, right? It's more, we've all seen so much, a lot of these terrible imagery, terrible, terrible imagery,
And I love that. I think,
and
yeah.
we don't put enough of the joy back into the world.
That's it. And I think that's why I really, when that book saw, and I saw that cover, and I'm seeing this brother smiling by this car, and it's like we weren't always, enslaved. We weren't always broke and poor. There were African Americans who were millionaires,
Yes,
after
there's
Reconstruction.
in that book there
Right.
is a picture of a woman standing in this gorgeous fox coat,
Mhm.
and she owned the same car that Teddy Roosevelt drove,
See?
right? And
Right.
that is
Right.
cool,
And if
right?
that's not
But
empowerment,
if that's not empowerment, what
right?
is?
Exactly. And
And
that's
that's
what
why I did this book.
I
The
love
truth
it.
is to add my voice, right? The more voices that are added to these stories matter to make change in the world. That's why I did it. I was out there marching like everybody, not like everybody, but like many people, I should say, right? During the tough times that we all lived. People have lived through tougher times than us in the pandemic, but I was out there adding my voice and I thought, how else can I add my voice? And that's why we made this book.
And I love it. And like you said, you had no idea when you made that book that it was going to connect with these little girls in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which you had never been to before. So, we brought you, to our area, and I appreciate the story. I appreciate your grace because we could have talked to someone, they're like, yeah, this is how much it's going to cost you to do that, blah, blah, blah. You didn't even have a doubt. You're like, let's do it.
Let's
Like,
do it. This is
we,
not about, are you
yeah,
kidding?
it was later that we said, wait a minute, we need a contract. Like, what is
Well, we
this?
should probably have a contract.
Right. But I think that's why this is so powerful because the whole project, not only you and Nick with the Gilmore Car Museum, but the Kalamazoo Civic Theater who did the costuming for the girls, Kazoo Media who did like a little trailer of the behind the scenes, Darrell McMillan, my husband Sean who did a lot of the graphics, the cosmetologist, Katanda James, professional,
Professional
cosmetologist,
hair and makeup came in. Yeah, those
international
girls,
renowned.
beautiful.
And they took the time to bring this story to life and to make the girls feel special. And it's something that they'll remember for a long time. So while your book started with the issues and you wanted to bring that joy out from those times, now it's flipped to these girls having that joy in these cars. Who can take pictures of cars and antique cars? Who can stand on top of a Cadillac and dance? These girls were able to do that, and it all became possible your photo. So I want to thank you again for this whole
And I'm going to
experience.
thank you. That's all I got. I'm going to thank you and all these incredible young women
And I
and
love it.
everyone else.
Thank you. And before we go, and I don't know if you had time to practice this, but I always ask my guests a once upon a time story.
Think about this one.
So it's like once upon a time there was a little girl who, and you did this, and then she became what? So just give me a little
Is this
quick.
my own
This
story,
is your own
though?
story.
Oh, it's my story.
Yes. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who wanted to what? And then this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and then it became that.
Wow. Okay. I'm never good on the spot like
You
that.
can
All
do
right.
it. You
Once
can
upon
do it. You got it. You got it.
makes me think of Charlie's Angels, which is when I grew. Once upon there were three little girls.
Right, right. You got it.
All right. I really don't know. Oh God, really put me on the spot. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so.
I got a New Yorker stalked. I got a New Yorker who can't talk to me.
All right. All right.
What?
Once upon a
What?
time. What? All right. I don't know.
I never heard a New Yorker not be able to answer my questions. Come on now, Liz. Come on now.
Ah, all right. Once upon a time,
There
there
we
was a
go.
little girl who was born in New York City. Um, who I don't know what's
What
the
did
next
you want
one?
to do? What did you
What
want
do
to
I
do when
want
you
to
were little?
do?
And then what happened to get you there?
All right.
Hmm.
Actually, what I wanted to do is the truth is what I wanted to do is make films. But I wanted to make films that made a difference. And then the film industry in New York City changed, and I got into photography. I just wanted to make art. That's the truth. Art of some sort. Art that made a difference. Art that affected people. Art that resonated in some way. That's all that I really ever wanted to do. And the truth is that this, in some ways, has made my dreams come true. Right? Like we put things in the world. Art is an important thing. And so I make books. I design them. I write them. Utilizing other people's art, I suppose. So this little girl in New York City, all she ever wanted to do was make stuff that might make some change.
Wow.
And I think I might have done it.
I
I
think
know. I think I actually, now that you got me on the spot and made me think about it,
that's it. Yeah, you've done
I
it.
hadn't thought about it. That's pretty great. Thank you.
Yes, and it made change, and I think we need to remember that too. Sometimes we do things and we don't immediately see it, or we're looking for something in our immediate arm's reach or our own circle. You touched me, never even knowing me, never even connected through some rabbit hole I went down online to even see your book, and it made a difference.
An
So
incredible thing.
and I just want to inspire, people who are writing books. Sometimes you're like, who is this for? Who's listening? and just keep
You hope. Well,
writing.
right? Like, we
Just
don't want
do it. Just get
just
it
keep
out.
doing it, put stuff out in the world, and you hope that
Mhm.
you hope that it hits people in the right way.
Exactly.
And I think that that's something that always mattered to you as a little girl all those many, many years ago,
Yes.
right? We wanted to do something, right? Through art, through creativity. And so thank you. Honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My assistant friend.
And my microphone.
Right. I love
Sorry.
it. I love it. Well, thanks again for joining us on Girls Talk Books. We're going to get into our exhibition now. People are going to come in. We're going to do a grand opening. We're going to recognize some of our partners. So I want to thank you all for joining Girls Talk Books. This is an amazing episode again with Liz Burns, the author of Picturing Freedom, African Americans in Their Cars, and so many other amazing photographic books that she's done. But again, thank you all for joining in. And until next time, keep reading. Thanks for joining us on Girls Talk Books, where we celebrate the power of representation in publishing and uncover the stories that matter most. We hope you're leaving inspired, empowered, and ready to take the next step on your own publishing journey. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs a little extra encouragement on their storytelling journey. I'm Sonya Hollins. Until next time, keep writing, keep dreaming, and remember, your story matters. See you next time on Girls Talk Books.